Hello everyone, welcome back to ArcVis Africa. It's Dixon here again with D5 Render. I hope you've been enjoying my tutorials and you've been practicing and trying D5 Render out. Today we'll be having a look at interior rendering. We will bring our model from Revit into D5 Render. We will also bring some assets like furniture from 3ds Max into D5 Render, and I will show you a very useful website where you can get some exciting models like furniture into your model. Let's dive right into it. Okay, so we are here in Revit, and this is just a basic box made with walls. And so you'll see that I've created cameras. Let's go to the top, the plan, and then let's see where we've positioned our camera. So this is the camera that we're going to use. This camera here, you can see where it's positioned. So if I open that view, you can see this is the view. And then once we are in the D5, we will enhance our scene by bringing some object from 3ds Max. Okay, so in Revit, we're not going to do much. I just wanted to show you the model in Revit. And so what we'll do is that we'll be in that camera view, and then we'll go to D5 Render and hit our Start button. Once we hit our Start button, we'll see that we have the two options to either select to replace a file or to click OK to start something new. So we want to start something new, so we'll just click OK. And it's loading. Okay, it's finished loading. So if you go to the same view that we had in Revit, we'll begin to see our model. See, let's adjust our field of view a bit. I think the camera, let's go back to Revit. Let's go to the top view. Let's say show camera, and let's move this bit in. Okay, let's sync. Let's go back to the exactly. So the camera was hidden in the wall, so that is why we were not seeing it. Okay, so I'm going to change my field of view to about 40 of, normally I use between 35 and 55 for my field of view. And then I'm going to change the eye level to maybe, let's try 1.2 and see how it looks like. Yes, maybe something like that. Okay, great. Let's do maybe 50 field of view. 50 is quite wide, so let's do 45. Okay, that's not bad. Okay, and then I'm going to just I'm just going to move forward a bit, just get a bit closer. A bit. Let's see if we do 50, what we're going to get. Yeah, we basically at the moment what we're trying to do is to set our view, our camera that we're looking for. Check 2-point perspective. Let's see, but we can also adjust it later. So let me just save that. Let's give it a name. We can rename it. Let's call it shot 1. Okay, so we know we have that. Okay, so from here, the next thing that we're going to do is that, as I mentioned, I'm going to show you a website that I think is very useful to get some free models. And also, if you want high quality models, paid models, you can also go to Evermotions, which is quite good. 3ds Max, because it's been in existence for a very long time, there's a lot of resources. So in my workflow, I work between Revit, 3ds Max, and then any other rendering software, which in this case is D5 Render. Okay, so let's go to the website. So this is the website. It's called Model 3D Pro. Okay, it's quite nice. In this website, you can get like a scene like this, for free. You can get this scene with this furniture for free. So basically, what I've done is that I've downloaded this scene, and then I've deleted what I don't want from the scene. So you see this this couch, you see that we'll bring it into our D5. Okay, so let's go quickly into 3ds Max. And so for the sake of time, I have already kind of opened these files already and cleaned it up in 3ds Max to just save us some time. So I'm just going to go there. Okay, I'm going to go to interior rendering tutorials, modeling. Then I'm going to just look for, wait, let's see if I go recent. Yeah, there it is. So let's open that. And so what I've done is that I've kind of dragged and dropped several models, a bed, a couch, into one file in 3ds Max. But it doesn't matter. You can have several files in 3ds Max, but then when you are saving it, or when you are sending it to D5, you can choose. You can select basically the model that you want to export, which is quite nice. So if this is what I want to export, I can basically select this, just that, and then I'll go to D5 converter, then I'll go to export D5 render file. Okay, so now I'll choose the location or the path where I want to save it, and then you see I have already saved mine. So when you save it, it becomes a D5 file. Okay, so an example, you just save this as, let's say, chair test. Okay, like that, and you just say save, and you say export. Okay, so now this model alone, only this model has been exported as a D5 file, which is really nice to have. Okay, so if I go to my D5 and then I go to the import and I click on the plus button, then it takes me to where I've saved my D5 file from 3ds Max, and then I just select it. So I'm looking for armchair test, the one that we just saved now, and I just click on open, and then it will load. You can see it's loading. What I like about D5 is the ability to save different scenes. I think that is quite useful, because and also be able to change the presets of each, the settings of each of them. It's quite nice. So you can see this is our model, and yeah, looking quite nice, quite decent. I'm going to refresh the scene, then I'm going to just rotate. I'm changing to the bed view. I like using that. Then I'll just rotate there, or we can even rotate on plan. Like if I go to the camera and I go to top view, I can rotate it, which is quite nice. So you can rotate the way you want it to rotate it. So I have rotated it the way I want it. Okay. So we will go back to import. We'll go back to import and click on the plus button. And this time around, we choose a couch. Okay, so we're going to choose our couch. It's also loading. And then finish loading, just click on the download button. And there you go. There is your couch. There is your couch. I'm just going to position my couch there to make sure that the artwork is not hidden in the wall. I can actually go to the top view if I want, and then make sure that I position it in terms of the wall. So this is the wall, so I can make sure that it's not like this inside the wall, so I can just position it properly. Okay, it's quite nice. And then the next thing that I'll do is to basically also import the bed. So the bed is there. I'm just going to click and say open. In very few steps, you can see our scene is becoming exciting and alive. So yeah, let's wait for the bed to also upload. I think this is a very good workflow. The ability to kind of change between softwares. If you are an architect or you are a designer, if you are not a furniture designer, you don't design the furnitures unless you are designing the furniture, which is fine. But even with that, it helps because you might be using 3ds Max to model your custom furniture. And to know that you can easily bring that into D5 render is great. So let's see. So I'm going to bring that in. And I use 3ds Max for this asset and this component also because of the quality of the quality of these models are really nice. I'm going to rotate that. Okay, and then I'm going to move it there. Again, I'll go to the top view. I'll go to the top view so that I can be precise. So I'm going to go there and just make sure that it is not hidden in the wall. Okay, I'm going to move it a little bit this way. Okay, and then yeah, okay. So basically I've got all my models in. We're not going to add a lot of things. I think this is quite a nice setup. And so the next thing that we will do is to look at lighting. Okay, so yes, we've been able to bring in our model. We've set up our scene and our camera. And the next thing that we're going to look at is the lighting. And so let's go to our sky, which we can also do. We can also go there by pressing the Alt and +1 key. Let's see. Yeah, takes you there. Okay, and then let's see if you can use some HDRI. So let's go to HDRI and let's use some clear sky, and let's play with the rotation. Okay, I want to have this effect where it's almost like I have the sun coming from let me actually switch on the sun to follow the path. Okay, and the idea is to kind of create something that has this light or this beam of light coming through the window from the bedroom. Okay, something like that. Okay, so let's save this. Let's create as a new scene so that if you don't want it, we can change it. Okay, so I've just saved that, and so we have the old one. Okay, so this is the old one. Great, and this is the new one. Okay, so that's the new one. Okay, so we've done that. Very, very simple. Okay, very simple. Let's add some materials first before we go to other settings. So again, to add your materials, you go to assets. Okay, and in assets, we are going to go to paint. And when we are in paint, we're just going to kind of do the add materials to the floor. We want to have this kind of rough or concrete. So let's see how it looks like. Yeah, but let's make it let's change the concrete of the floor to like maybe a bare concrete, not too rough like that. Let's see what we can find. And you can also try different materials that you think works for your scene. So let's use, this is actually, is it a paint? I think it's a paint. Let's look for, it's ordinary concrete. Let's see. Let's download that. In this tutorial, I don't want us to necessarily kind of try to get to some image. You know, we're doing it together. Like we basically trying it together. Okay. Let's change the scale to see where it will lead us. It's quite too much. The detail that this software gives is amazing. It's really, really amazing. Look at that. It's really beautiful. Okay. Let's tone it a little bit down. Okay. Great stuff. Let's add some white material to the wall, but normally I like to have a material that has like a texture to it, you know. I don't like to use like plain white, but it also depends on what you are trying to get. Okay, there. I'm going to make it white by just working with my color slider. Let's take it back so that we can see the texture there first, and then if I'm happy, then I change the color a bit. Okay, great. Yeah, I think that's fine. But feel free to adjust things, to change, to change the materials as you see fit. Okay, great. And then I'm gonna go to wood, and I'll get some wooden material. So I'm going to kind of add a wooden material to this. And then I'll change the scale of it. Great. That is looking fantastic. Okay, let's actually increase it a bit. Yeah, I think that's much better. Okay, then I'll go back to concrete again, and I'll add this black white scratched material to here. Play with the scale a bit. Okay, you can see our scene is definitely coming to life. So I'm going to copy this material from the wall and add it to the top, to the ceiling here. Okay, and I'll show you a trick that I learned from a very good friend of mine, who is an architect and a visualization artist, about how to create a fur material for the carpet, which I think was brilliant. The technique that he used was brilliant. So I'll show you that. But I also hope in the future we're going to get a fur material in D5. But if you don't have it now, no stress. We will create it right now. Okay. Just want a little bit light kind of material to match with this. I feel like the one that I have is too dark. Let's see. Yeah, I think that this is a bit closer. Yeah, just tone it down a bit. Yeah, perfect. Okay, great. So we are going to add materials to our object here, our furniture here. So we will go to leather, and we're going to add a leather material to it. And again, material picker tool, we change that. Let's see. Let's change that leather to this one. Yeah, this one is looking much better. Look at the reflection of the light. That this is beautiful. Okay, so yeah, that can give us an idea, the leather. Okay, then you can see even when you bring the models from 3ds Max, it keeps the materials that it comes with, you know. So it really helps. It really helps. If you don't want to change some of these materials, you can actually leave them as they are. But I'm going to change most of them. I am going to change most of the materials. I think that, let's use metal. I think that will look much better. Let's see. Yeah. I'll always go back to my camera to see what I've done. Okay. Let's go back. Okay. Let's add a material to the stand. Let's see. Made up of steel or see. Or we could have probably used the same black metal from the so let's see. Yeah, I think that's better. That's much better. Great stuff. Okay, I'm gonna try. I want to try and put in a flower here. Let's see. Let's try that. I'm just increasing the field of view so that I don't struggle to move around. So I'm gonna go to model, and then I'll look for a flower. So I'll go for a flower. Just want to try it out to see how it will look. And as I said, I have not created this this exact scene, so it's almost like we're doing it together. How I would kind of create an image, you know. And sometimes you try things, it don't work, and then you just take it out. So that is what I wanted to see. I wanted to see that process. I want to see that process. Let's see. Is it? Does that make sense? Let's look. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. No, it doesn't. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Let's reduce the size. Nope. Let's take it out. Okay, anyways, let's leave that for now. We'll see as we move along. Okay, let's go back to our materials. Let's go to metal. Let's pick that metal, copy it, and we place it on this. Okay, great. So how are we going to do the book? So the book also have materials. So I'm going to pick there, and then I'll go to maps, and that's custom. So if I go to the base color, I can basically choose a texture that I can apply to it. So I'm just going to pick any of these. I thought it was actually the material. I think this is wrong. I think the material is not yeah, it was the entire, it wasn't in different different layers or different materials. They're the same, so that makes it a bit of a challenge for us, but you could definitely edit that in 3ds Max. Could edit that. So let's see what could work. Almost something like a book cover. So let's see. See what's going on there. Okay, let's see from this could work. Let's change that. I'm not liking that. There you go. The individual UV needed to be switched off. This is what I pay for not testing this out, but trying to, for us to try this together. But at least it helps you to see what challenge you could have, which I think is a good thing. So yeah, okay, and then I'm going to copy that material, and then I'll put it on this couch as well. It's a leather couch. Then I'll go again to assets and go to fabric, and apply some fabric in onto my pillows there. Okay. Okay. So you see, this book has a it has a cover as on its own, which is good, and then it has the inner part of the book, which is quite good. So then you can play with what you want to. So then you can have the outside, and then you can have the inside. Okay, something like that. Now, camera is not that close, so it's really not an issue in terms of the detail. Maybe one day we'll do a tutorial where we are very close to an object like that, and then we'll see. But it also depends on how we model it then, you know. Very important. Okay. I'm just applying this. There's no really, because it doesn't even show much in our scene. You see, the idea is that we're going to frame this, like halfway. So we wouldn't even need that. But anyways, let's just do it. Plastic. Here. Changing the color. Yeah, like that. Okay, let's go back to assets again, fabric again, and we're going to find something for the carpet. Okay. So, and then I mentioned that I will show you how to create a fabric with a fur. Okay, so we will do that with the other one. Okay, great. Okay, so what are we going to do with this one is that I'm going to apply a material to it. Then I'll go to model. Then I'll choose grass. Then I'll go to the settings where you can scatter. Then I'll use the paint. Then I'll increase the radius for it to allow to scatter. Then I'll reduce the size of the grass to very small. But you can see I've got a book there. Wow. Okay, anyway, so let's swap it. Let's swap it. So we're going to undo, redo. Let's go back to assets and let's erase it. Let's go erase. Let's increase it and we click. So now we erase that. Okay. So what I'm going to do, again, pick this material, copy that and paste it here. And so we will leave this material as it is, okay? But then we're going to create the fur here. So I will go to the paintbrush and then I'll click on the grass. Make sure the radius is full, reduce the size of the grass, and then you can see that as I scatter, I have that. Then you ask yourself, but how are you going to change the material or the color? Or, it's not a problem. You just select the properties. Okay, then so once you select the property, you use the material picker. Then you can go to maps. Then you can change it to custom. Then you can add a base map to it. So let's see what we can get. So I'm going to look for a texture that I could use. So I'm basically looking for a texture for like a carpet. Okay, so when I look for so let's say that one, for example. Okay. You can see immediately it changes there. Okay, so you can see it really is quite simple and nice to see that you can play around even with the color of it as well. Okay, so there you go. You can have like your fur there. You can work with the color a little bit, trying to take away the reds a bit. Yeah, I think that's nice. Okay, great. Let's see how this model was. It's important to make sure in 3ds Max, the models, the way they are in terms of the materials, that they are individually kind of they are all individually assigned, so that it doesn't become an issue when you come in here, because you see it selects everything, which is quite a problem. Because you would want to be able to maybe perhaps select a couple of them together. Okay, so we're going to leave it like that. Okay. Let's go back to material, fabric, and let's add some materials to our cushion that we have here. Change this one up. Okay, let's take it back to there. Let's go to the bed. Let's add our materials there. There you go. Again, it's all up to you in terms of what you're trying to achieve. You know, this is to give you the base understanding, and yeah, you can have fun with it, the software. All right. Okay, I think we are almost done with our materials. Let's add some materials here. If I'm not mistaken, I think this is almost like fabric kind of art piece, so I'm going to use, that is why I'm using fabric there. But anyway, you can change it, you know, if that doesn't work for you also. Okay, great. Let's see. There you go. I'm not sure if the greens are working without seeing, so let's change that. I don't think it's really working without seeing, so even with this one, I'm gonna go, yeah, something like that. Because again, you need to also think about an interior design, interior decoration. You know, it's not just about adding materials, but it's also about, if that is your space, if that is the space that you've designed, how would the materials work, you know, and the color coordination and all those kind of things. I know I can get a lot of criticism from this, from what I am creating here in terms of color coordination and stuff. Some people actually always say I am colorblind, but yeah. Okay, great. So I think we'll end it here for today. And the next time, in our next tutorial, we will have a look at how to add some filters to the scene and how to adjust the lighting a bit and get to our final render. Once again, thank you very much for joining me, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and share the tutorials, and enjoy, have fun, and see you next week. Bye.